Hello and welcome to Chocolate and Cheese. My name is Dom.
My name is Lulu.
Happy-
Frohe Weihnachten.
No, that's wrong. You're kind of like, I think, 8 months early. It's not actually Christmas. Please don't get confused, everybody. It's actually Easter. We're not gonna re-record this. I think that's an hilarious opener for the show. Just to remind everybody, it's not actually Christmas. It's Easter. Okay.
Easter.
We have a very interesting show for you. We have 10 fun facts for you on this special day. I mean, we've had many Easter shows now over the last few days. We've been doing it for almost a week. Today is our last Easter show, and it's going to be 10 interesting facts that you might not actually know. So this is going to be interesting. Shall we start straight away, Lou?
Yeah.
Okay, don't look at my script. I hate when you do that. Okay, now. When people eat chocolate Easter eggs, I mean, we had a few, okay? Quite a few, actually. I'm actually quite sick and tired of them. I don't want to eat any chocolate anymore. When people eat chocolate Easter eggs, where do you think most people start? When they have the Easter figure in front of them, where do you think they start nibbling away?
Probably in England? What?
They start nibbling away in England. I guess you're right, maybe.
You mean?
You're clipping. They start. Okay, so that's exactly, yeah.
Nibbling from the neck.
That's actually wrong. Most people, interestingly, they did this study. It's interesting what scientists spend their time with doing. 76% of people actually start with the ears. Okay.
Oh.
Now, if you're one of these people, you are actually in the very normal range of people. They're not starting nibbling away in England, but actually on the ears. You know, I do the same thing. I normally start eating on the ears. Now, Lou, I know this as a fact, you like it always from the feet, okay? And that's actually only 5% of people, so you're definitely in the minority there. But there's even stranger people who start eating the Easter bunny from the tail. And I find that really bizarre. It's like, why would you...
Difficult to start.
I think
very flat.
Yeah, but I think it's also a weird thing to bite the bunny's ass. To start eating there. It's just strange. And when I looked at these figures, I also realized that makes about 90%. They're 86. So what are the other people doing? I suppose some of them just said it doesn't matter, or maybe they don't even eat Easter bunnies. But it's interesting. Most people start with the ears, not with the because I think they start eating it and then they put it back. So it can still stand. While if you start with the feet, you would just have to lie
That
down.
really stand.
Really? Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but it's just the head then, and that's kind of like weird.
But just the head left, it's really cute.
Okay. Number 2. This is really interesting.
Yeah.
In America, the average household spends $140 on Easter every year, which amounts to a total of $16.4 billion a year. I mean, that is such incredible amount of money. I mean, this is like $16,000 million.
$1,000.
No, but it's just great, and that actually goes to the next fact. That actually says that Easter is the biggest candy consuming holiday just after Halloween. So a lot of candy is being consumed. Actually, there is 120 million pounds of candy consumed every year in America. 100 million pounds of candy. Unbelievable. And actually, this makes up 90 million chocolate bunnies in America. Can you imagine that? I mean, that's a huge army of bunnies. 91.4 billion eggs. Yeah, and 700 million marshmallow peeps. Like these little birdies made from marshmallows. And also 16 billion jelly beans. I mean, it's like
too much.
It's a candy bonanza. It's absolutely mental. It's just
Video.
I'm not surprised that so many people are just sick afterwards. And I've really done. Over the last week, I've eaten so much chocolate
And
candy.
yesterday, I was really
and you
sick.
are actually unwell. It's so true. Oh my god. Anyway, number 4.
Yeah.
The tallest chocolate Easter egg ever made was made in 2011 in Italy. It was 10.3 meters tall. It's huge. I saw pictures. You can just Google that. Actually, it's massive, and it weighs 7.2 tons, 7,000 kilograms. Which makes it taller than a giraffe and heavier than an elephant. I wonder whether whether it's still there, whether they've eaten it. I have no idea what actually happened to that egg, but it looks so bizarre. Number 5, the world's most expensive Easter egg costs a whopping $7.5 million.
Why?
Why? Well, it's made from over 1,000 diamonds. It looks a bit. You can Google this. It looks a little bit like a mixture of a Fabergé egg, okay, and like a Damien Hirst crystal skull. You know, the artist, yeah. Absolutely beautiful. And it actually opens up. You can open up the Easter egg, and inside there is like a beautiful globe, you know, the world. And then if you open up the globe again, there's a dove on an olive branch. So the whole thing is supposed to signify, you know, indicate world peace. Absolutely beautiful. It's one of a kind, and the current owner doesn't actually want to sell it. So I'm so sorry for people who actually want to buy this. It looks beautiful. Very, very nice.
Is that chocolate?
No, it's not chocolate.
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's made from diamonds and gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still talking about chocolate?
No. It's actually called the Fabergé egg. No, it's not called. No, sorry. It's the Mirage egg.
Mirage.
It's called Mirage. Absolutely. Number 6. This is a study that was done in the UK a couple of years ago. And they found out something really interesting, which I think is worth knowing. Almost 1 in 5 children, that's about 20%, well, not actually, that's exactly 20%, what am I saying? Say that they made themselves sick by eating too much chocolate over the Easter holidays. I'm actually quite surprised that it's only 20%, you know? I'm most definitely, I have been most definitely one of those kids, because I get sick every single time. Okay, so these were our 6 very fun facts about Easter. The following will be for all those of you guys who feel like, you know, I don't want this to be a complete waste of my time. So actually now we have some very interesting, not just purely fun and outrageous facts. Number 7. Why do we actually celebrate Easter? Well, it's the resurrection of Christ. You know, so it's the most important day in the Christian calendar. You know, so Jesus got crucified on Friday, and then 3 days later he's resurrected. He's, you know, reborn. There's the rebirth of Christ, and that's why it's celebrated. Actually,
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Okaeri.
Number 8. This is really, really interesting. I never thought about this, which I find interesting. The name Easter itself actually comes from it originates in the word Iastre or Iostre, yeah, which is an Anglo-Saxon goddess, and it's the goddess of dawn and light.
Oh.
Okay. And this is actually like it comes from the pagan, you know, religions. They were basically celebrating this goddess, you know, at the beginning of spring, because it was seen as like marking the end of winter, you know, heralding the arrival of spring, you know, of light, of rebirth. Everything is growing again. Okay, so it's almost like also celebrating fertility. Okay. It's very interesting. I checked out a couple of pictures of the goddess and how she's being depicted. And you see her there up in the sky, beautiful birds around her, a couple of angels, and then weirdly, it looks so out of place. Please check it on Google. There's a rabbit. There's a rabbit flying through the air, and you can clearly see, well, that's it seems to be the beginning of this idea that there should be rabbits around this time, okay? Because again, it also makes sense if you think about springtime. It's the rabbit itself being a symbol for fertility, you know, of birth and all sorts of things.
And they make a lot of children.
Absolutely, that's the offspring then, exactly. So that's the signal, you know, for fertility. Absolutely. Number 9, the interesting link between Easter and eggs. Okay, so what does the resurrection of Christ have to do with eggs? Okay, now where this is really coming from? It dates back to like the 15th century. Okay, where Catholicism in Germany, you know, was really kicking off. and it arrives from this obviously Christian tradition of fasting, before Easter Monday, before the resurrection of Christ. So deeply religious people would fast for 40 days before this particular day, and they were not allowed to eat any kind of animal products. Okay, so no meat, and also no eggs, no cheese,
no alcohol.
Not quite. No, it's that's not an animal product. And then actually on Monday, on this Easter Monday, there would obviously be because the hens obviously didn't stop laying eggs. So they had this huge amount of extra eggs after 40 days, and it totally made sense to then, have huge feasts with a lot of eggs. So there's this idea that the eggs actually came about simply because of that fact that you didn't eat this kind of stuff during Lent. These 40 days of fasting, and the egg itself, if you think about it, again, signifies, it's a symbol of life and rebirth. Everything starts from the egg, so it makes kind of a lot of sense, to have this combination between eggs and Easter. Like Jesus Christ being resurrected, coming back to life, and then the egg, as a symbol of life. Okay. What else? Yeah, and then we're actually coming to number 10. I'm quite surprised. And this is quite interesting, and this is about the bunny itself, the rabbit actually. And again, like I said before, it started with these pagan beliefs about the goddess of dawn and light. You have this crazy rabbit there flying in the air as well. But the idea of the bunny actually comes from Germany. Like a lot of these things. And it became popular in America only actually in the 1700s. Okay, so the German immigrants, who came to the Americas. And brought this so-called Osterhase. That's the German word for Easter bunny. And this whole idea that there was this rabbit who was laying eggs into baskets. So that was that started in the Americas actually in the 1700s. So this kind of like German tradition, German pagan tradition. Of like what I said before about celebrating the arrival of light, the arrival of spring. Okay, so these were actually already our 10 super interesting facts. Some weird ones there in the beginning, and then some more serious ones towards the end. Which one did you like most, actually? Which one did you find most unusual, actually, that you didn't know about? Without looking at the script.
The biggest chocolate.
Oh, absolutely. I can understand. Yeah, I understand that. I found the most interesting for me was actually the origin of the word. That it was to do with this goddess, a pagan holiday, which I find interesting. In Christianity, that it actually prevailed. That the church didn't change the name to anything else. They actually left it with that particular goddess. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show, guys. We're going to be back again tomorrow. It won't be an Easter show. It will be something else. So we see you again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of Easter, and don't eat too many chocolate eggs. You're going to regret it.